Failure happens and failure stinks. Nobody likes to fail. The difference between a successful person and a person who's not successful is not failure. It has nothing to do with failure. Believe it or not, the difference between someone who's successful and somebody who's not successful is how they respond to failure. The number one reason that I hear why somebody will not start a side hustle or their own business or even look at possible ways to make money on their own is because they're afraid of failure. What happens if they fail? Failure stinks, I get it, and nobody wants to be a failure. The difference is you're not a failure. Yes, maybe your side hustle failed. Maybe your business failed. It happens, I understand, and it stinks. But you can learn from it. Successful people fail all the time. The difference is they learn and then they try again and they try again. Usually successful people have failed more times than you even tried to start. That's right, they have failures. I myself have failed. Believe it or not, I have failed and it was miserable. And the first time I had a failed business was miserable. It was my first business. Crushed me, absolutely crushed me. The business just didn't make the money it needed to, and I needed to go back and work a real job. So people say anyway, they call it a real job. And so I did, and I dealt with that failure, and for years, I let it get me down. And I always wanted to try another business, but I was scared to do it. And so was my wife. She was scared to let me try. Finally, one day, I had a plan in place for another business, and I tried. And guess what? It worked. Then I tried another, and it worked. And I tried another, and it worked. It's kind of like a muscle. The more you exercise the muscle, the stronger it gets. The more businesses that I have started has given me more knowledge to be more successful with each one of the businesses. I've learned new things with each business I've started. I've learned new things with each business's cash flow and how that functions. I've learned new things about how to find markets for each business and which businesses will serve which niche and how they'll do it and how to make that business grow. I've also learned more about selling businesses. The more businesses I've started, the more businesses I've sold. So I've learned how to negotiate those deals, who needs to be involved, how to write documents, how to involve the lawyer properly, how to get a deal closed quickly. The last one I sold, we were able to close it actually in 30 days, which is unheard of. Thankfully for me, that potential buyer, which actually was a buyer, had a private money lender. So I was able to help that person walk through the process of purchasing a business and how to go about doing it, which actually helped us close the deal quicker because I helped him find a private money lender, helped provide all the financial statements he needed to provide to get that loan to start or to buy that business that he was now taking over and starting a new venture for himself. So failure, yes, it stinks and it's miserable, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. You can learn so much from a failure. Yes, you can also learn from success, but I would argue that sometimes you don't learn from success like you do from failure. Because sometimes when you're succeeding, you think you're unstoppable and you know everything. When you fail, you start to analyze what went wrong. And you can look at that and learn what went wrong, how did it go wrong, why did it go wrong, what could I do different? Then you can take all those things that you've learned and apply them to your next start. And then the next start and the next start. Trust me, if your fear of failure is what's keeping you from going, get over it. I mean, that sounds harsh and mean, but it's not. Get over it. You can start a business. You can start a side hustle with almost zero money. So there's almost zero risk other than losing a little bit of time. And even if you put a few dollars into it, you lost a few dollars. I mean, most of us lose a few dollars on coffee and lunch every day. So why not lose a few dollars on your next side hustle idea? On an idea that could generate wealth for you, generate an income for you, even possibly set you free from your 9 to 5. If nothing else, just give you an avenue to make more money and have a security blanket if something should happen to your regular job. Failure is not the end of the world. It may feel like it at the moment, but you can pick yourself back up and you can keep going. Failure does not kill you. Failure will make you stronger. Go ahead and try. I know you can do it. I believe in you.